All right, welcome back to the Jason Gray Show. Rich, how's it going today?
Great. Thanks for having me again, Jason.
Of course, man. All right, so let's talk about the whole Pentagon releasing of those 100 documents. So, interesting thing I found out, these documents were sitting on the internet for about a couple months.
A couple months, what I heard.
They were sitting on some like gaming Discord channel or something, right?
It's like a back channel or something, internet. Almost
Yeah.
like a dark web.
It was like a dark, yeah, I think so. So do you think they know who did it? Do you think it's an inside job, or do you think this is Russian disinformation? What's your gut so far for what you know?
Well, as incompetent as they seem to be with these documents, I think somebody probably. I don't think it was an inside job. I think somebody got their hands on them and wanted to disrupt, I guess, what the U.S. is doing. Well, and it was interesting too. This wasn't just not a Ukraine thing. This is about us spying on Israel and South Korea and just all kinds of docs.
Yeah, it's not like we're clueless here. We're all spying on each other. It's not like Russia sits there and goes, "Oh my God, they're spying on me." Don't.
But how does this information get out there?
That's the problem. And they all have to sign agreements, right? There's probably some type of agreement they have to sign when they work for the government, saying, "Hey, you can't give out secrets."
Absolutely, yeah.
And is this like a Snowden event in regards to is that what they're trying to accomplish? And then I think everything's sort of trackable now. I think if you had print something out, take pictures of it with your phone, it'd be somewhat trackable. Wouldn't you think?
You would think there would be some kind of paper trail.
I would think so too.
But finding that, or do they want to find that out?
Well, and Kirby came out and he pretty much said too is he wants the news stations to sort of come out and say, don't divulge this information that's out there. Twitter left the stuff running. Elon did not stop it at all. Right. He just said, let the stuff run, whatever it is, what it is. So how if it is true, it's not Russia disinformation. Like Russia hasn't created these documents that look like U.S. documents, and we know that it's something internal. That's a pretty big issue. I mean, and again, it's not that we all don't know that we spy on each other, but it's what was inside of those documents on how they talked about it. If that stuff is really real, and if it's Russia doing it or some other country doing it just to hurt the United States, that could be a good thing too, and for the other side, right? I mean, that could be really good. Do you think China has a role in this stuff at all? Or do you think this is either Russia or us stuff? What do you think?
Yeah, there could be a very high chance of Russia, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
We've got so much turmoil going on with that country that why wouldn't they?
I mean, we're having a proxy war with them, right? We blew up we clearly blew up their pipeline.
Well, that would be Russia, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're clearly in a proxy war.
But we're head on going right towards China right now. I think we're in some serious trouble here because we can't fight two. We don't have the money, the capability of fighting two wars on this kind of stage.
No, and it is like you said, it's a proxy war, so it's a money war. And when you deplete your assets, then like you said, can you fight another war? And so let's say they go
against one of the largest countries in the world,
right? Who has a pretty big military,
larger than ours.
Yeah,
right. Maybe it's way bigger.
Well, so they did do. They're talking about China. They did do that. The rehearsal, the drills over Taiwan. Just finished up yesterday, right? Yeah. And so, they're thinking about it now. Let's talk about. I mean, do you think this is more of a Snowden event, or do you think this is worse than a Snowden event, or do you think or do you think it's very similar?
It depends. I mean, this is national security. Snowden was what our government was doing to us people, right? This is a world stage implication here. I mean, secrets getting out of how we intel what we're doing secretly about these other countries.
Right.
I think that's bigger.
I think it is bigger too, actually.
Because it puts our country at more risk now.
Yeah, and I think if it was internal, I really think they already know who it is. I mean, let's be real. If it was internal, I think they'd have a pretty good idea where it came from.
You would think so. However, we still haven't found the leaker for the Dobbs. I mean,
true,
and that had a much smaller group of people. Everyone that was in that, for the Dobbs leak there, every assistant or whatever they are, that helps out the judges, clerks or whatever.
Yeah, right.
There's a limited number of them.
They never found out who that was.
They never found out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Somebody's just clammed up.
And I'm sort of thinking too, after 9/11 happened, one of the things that they were talking about too is that people weren't sharing information very well. And probably after 9/11, probably everyone now is having to share more information. So that stuff could have been leaked out somewhere.
Could have been,
Exactly.
State actor.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we'll see what happens with this. I mean, if there is someone internal, it's sort of weird how it sat on that computer system for such a long time
without no one
seeing
right?
it, which
that's
is bizarre. That's what sort of feels a little bit weird.
Well,
you know
that's what's
saying?
scary is about. It seems like everything we're behind the 8 ball on everything. It doesn't matter what we're doing here.
Oh
as
God,
far as our
yeah,
country
we're a bunch of morons right now.
Right now,
we look like
we're
dumb
reacting
shits.
and not being proactive.
Yeah.
With this stuff, so.
Yeah, we are very reactive to stuff. It doesn't feel it doesn't feel like we're in control of anything.
No,
you're right. We're very reactive. There's no control. I mean,
we're a day late every time something comes up. It's like, what's going to happen tomorrow? It seems like there's news coming out every day of incompetence. And,
right.
Hey, let's see what the next incompetent move is going to be.
Well, and if you take a look at it, Trump was unpredictable. Right, and you got Biden, who's been in it for 50 years. He can't throw out a sentence, either can I, but he can't definitely throw out a sentence, right, than anyone else. And so I think they are taking calculated risks on his history of the last 50 years and see how weak he's been in his first couple of years. And you're sort of right. If China's going to take action, they will have to take it soon because you never know if Trump or DeSantis comes in.
I think it's going to be within the next year, probably before the next election, or even maybe during that election cycle,
right? Because
we're going to be worrying about elections and not worrying about what China's the threat from China.
Well, and take a look at China too. They have transitioned a little bit in regards to they've accepted capitalism a little bit more. So is it? I mean, this is just sort of spitballing, but is it a situation where they go to Taiwan and say, we don't want to battle with you, but at the same point in time, we want to partner with you? Is that possible?
It all depends on how, I guess,
maybe they start pivot, right? You know? I mean, you take a look at the petrodollar sort of going away. I mean, we had this conversation about the petrodollar going away. So China has now made agreements with Russia and Saudi Arabia. Who else did they do? They just did some other ones.
Was it Iran as well?
Shoot, the guy from France just went over there, and then he said something about we don't need to follow the United States anymore. Right. I mean, it's literally we are behind the 8 ball in literally everything.
Japan just came out and said they're going to be exiting, or somewhat, the petrodollar.
Yeah.
They're going to be purchasing Russian oil in rubles. So
they did. I really think that's a tough thing for most people. They just truly don't. They don't follow this enough to understand the long-term consequences. Right. We are such into a news cycle that if something was to happen bad, you just wait it out 24 to 48 hours and it's gone. Americans don't think long-term.
Right. I mean, we're not like the Chinese where they're a 50 to 100-year game plan.
Yeah.
We're a couple month to 4-year game plan.
24 hours.
24 hours right now.
Exactly.
Like,
right? No, you're right. We are totally behind the 8 ball. All right, so the Pentagon story, wrapping back into that. Bad for the U.S. government if it's legit. Now, if they've obviously has spoken with all these countries already and said, hey, they have already probably said, this is legit documents. Yeah, we have a leak somewhere. Or they're going to say, no, this is Russian or whatever information. They'd have to have that conversation by now.
Well, it all depends on how they want to spin it. Do they want to tell the truth or not? It seems like we're not getting a lot of truth. So they could say it was all propaganda.
Yeah, true.
And we would know any different because we're going to get...
We're going to be fed whatever we're going to be fed.
We're going to be fed whatever, yeah. So, but I think it's real documents. I mean,
yeah. The good thing is alternative media like ourselves or other alternative medias that are out there, at least you're having these conversations where you look at the major news stations, let it be CNN or Fox or whoever it might be, they're all giving their own spin on things for sure. Right. At least people can get on YouTube and start having these conversations. We don't know the answers, but we can sort of...
We're just
having conversations
here,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's where we've, I think, fell off the track a lot here in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
No one wants to have a debate anymore about issues. They just want to...
Gosh, if you're on the other side, they don't want to talk to you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Like and subscribe. It's always great having Rich on. And thank you for your time today. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.